freezing, people. I'm coming in from Leeds and it's freezing. So I don't know where you are in the world, but I can tell you where I am. It's cold. You don't want to be, it's too cold. This one's after Winter NAMM 2020, but before the update. So I've got no idea. I think the update's probably going to be beyond amazing. And I just want to go through two things: the audio clip track and the timeline in the audio clip track, and things that you may or may not have noticed about it and which are really good. And also I want to go again through track presets and why you might want to use a track preset for DJing with. All right, so might be marginally long, I don't know. I never know how long these things are going to be, but it's always worth sticking about. Always having fun. Akai Force fun. All right then, so I'm going to start with a blank canvas. If you didn't know how to do that, it's easy to do. You just press delete and shift and then everything else will get cleared off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through here and I'm going to find some samples to use to create a new sample out of. So something melodic. So I'm going to choose this one and load that to the pool as opposed to the clip. Load this one to the pool, that one I guess, and that, yeah. So I've got 4 pieces. I'm gonna do a 4-bar loop. So I want to start with a blank clip. I could just load in, but I just want to show you, take you through this. So I'm gonna have this, call it choppy riff. Yeah, why not? Choppy riff. Makes sense. So I'll put this together as one clip. So 4 going into one clip. And yeah, create that. And the type I'm going to create is going to be an audio clip. And what will happen now, if I set up these parameters, each time I want to create a clip, it'll create a clip like that. So there you go. There's a clip. Something else I noticed, but you know what? Forget all this. I'll tell you what. I was gonna load it like this, but I've just thought I'm gonna clear everything because I was messing about. I'm gonna clear everything so that I don't have to go through a load of things. Because as you can see now, I've got a lot of samples in here because I was messing about before I decided to do this. So. One way of clearing it is I could go new, but purge is better because what purge will do is it'll just get rid of all samples, or if I want to get rid of unused samples. So that's a quick way and a good tip is purge before you do anything. So loading them samples again. These are just random, but my idea is I'll have a pad and then I'll have a little riff and then another pad sound and a little riff. So that's the audio track. So I'm going to browse samples. So the first thing I'm going to have on is, I think I'll go with pad first. So you've got a pad. I've got a little sample. It's 2 bars long. I'm only going to use 1 bar. So let's say I want to split it. How would I do that? This thing up here is the position pointer. And that line, what you can see is a position pointer. You can use this line as an editor. So I can use this line to chop through that sample and chop through it anywhere because it does it in like beats. So this is one way. It's like Ableton. You can use one way. Another tip is it's double click. You can double click on to click on the thing. So I've split that there in example. I'm not going to do it that way because I don't need to, because it's 4-bar loop. So if I load in anything, it replaces. So that's another thing to keep in mind. And if I load something and it replaces, double click anywhere to turn it off. Click on the sample to turn it on. Double click, turn it off. So anybody who's wondering, that's how you do that. So I've got my first sample. I'm going to go and get the next sample up. Normally it's in place, but I don't want to place it at the start. I want to place it at a position. Admittedly, I'd say it'd be nice if the pointer position matched So, but it doesn't. So what I have to do is I have to just keep in mind, it's on the second bar. I'm only showing this, I'm making it basic, but I'm trying to tell you because you might want to do something on a tick or a beat. This is simple, and this is more to give you ideas. So I've got my second bit. Let's go to the third. So where do I want to go now? What am I doing, me? I'm pressing it like a dingbo. So that's the third, of course. For some reason, I got confused and forgot it's in beats, not ticks. So move that, but I'm going to move that by bar. So that's the third bar. I've got 3 pieces, and the last one is going to be that lead. So I'll get that lead up there, and there it is. I've got 4 parts, and that's 1 clip. Now the last part is 2 bars. Each one of these samples is 2 bars long. So if I zoom out, there's a little bit held on there. I'll go into clip, and there's a way I could just reduce it by sample start and the set end, or I can just press trim clip as I've done now. So you might be thinking to yourself, well, what's the point of all that? And here's the point. I've done this really basic to show you that you can create your own loops. I've not done any fades or anything in it. I've kept it really just basic. But the reason why I'm saying this is because each clip is its own timeline. So now I've just come up with a little tune here. And I totally forgot I had it on fixed. So yeah, like I said, I was messing about with it before I started doing this. But this is just to show how an idea could come together really quite quickly. So yeah, I had a little open hi-hat, double that length, maybe add some percussion or something, maybe play a bass line, let me see. No, do you know what? Forget all this, I could be here all year, forget all that anyway, I'm getting carried away. The point is, what I was trying to show is, this is a timeline, so don't think you just have to have a sample and one sample of in that thing. It can go on for 999 bars. There's no way you'd want to do that, that's crazy. But what I'm trying to show you is you can actually have an arrangement just in that one thing. So let's kill that and let me explain about track presets and why you might want to use this if you're going to use it for DJing. So purge it again, and unfortunately because of YouTube and get muted, I'd love to show you on something that you might have heard of. Ideally, I like to DJ a lot of 60s and 70s music and stuff with live drums. So yeah, forget all that. But I'm gonna have to play. I'm gonna use my own music and stuff I've produced as an example. But I kind of wanted to show, maybe one time I'm gonna try and do some live drumming or something to show you how you can do warp. Like I say, they may have changed this by the time it gets changed. They might have changed something, but this is how I would set up a track for DJing, and then you know that it's never going to be wrong. You can mix it and everything. First thing is, I load in a song, as I have, and then get it in there. It's read the time slightly off, because I know this is 60 beats per minute, and the reason why is because I've got a little bit on the beginning, and the accuracy of the beat analysis is really good on this. What it tends to do is, it doesn't do it as a whole, it reads the beginning, so it takes its data from the beginning. And I noticed that because you could have a load of blank space and it's going to ignore the blank space at the end. It knows that that's not important. So I'm just going to put that to 96 and top and tail it. It's the wrong tempo. Let's get it down to the tempo. Obviously, it would have played it at that. Another thing what's strange, I've noticed, it reads pretty well when it's audio clips. When it's warping audio clips, it does it quite well. Yeah, good enough to DJ with, put it that way. So anyway, this is my tip. Get the first one, have that as a full thing so you can play and use crossfader and you assign. And then what I do, and I think it's quite good, and this is how you can create remix tracks, is you copy from the top one to the next ones and anything that you're going to use. So I think I'm going to have to move this up because you're not going to be able to see it. So let me just see. Hopefully I can keep this. Yeah, right. So you should be able to see that. So there. So what I'm going to do is keep the first one as is and then copy it. Another tip, if you hold select, right, when you're pressing a pad, it doesn't activate. So that's a way of keeping something playing. And even if you're on a different track, you can press select and you will not activate the other channel. So what I'm doing is I'm going to use this as a 4-bar loop now and then go to loop start. And if I use loop start, I can go through the track and I know it's going to always be in time because the rest of it's always in time. I could actually do this in a mix. I wouldn't advise it. I'd say the way to approach setting up for DJing on the Akai Force is to do it similar way to how you would on Serato DJ, and that is to prepare your tracks beforehand, similar like gridding beforehand. Personally, I come from virtual DJ where you don't have to do that, but that's a different story. So that's one loop. I'm going to keep that and say, yeah, that's one loop. So I'm going to use that as a chorus thing. I like that. I'm just doing this arbitrary. I'm not really taking any tips. If I was going to do this properly, I'd actually go through the song and find the hook parts and any parts that I want. So as long as I move there, I can find it.
So push through way caution. That'll open up. Better might ask it too much. Thinking that a good body will stop.
So
don't know.
Say I like that. That's got a nice drop to it. So yeah.
Be all listen, whatever the mystery, I know I can don't know. Whatever the mystery.
So now what I can do is I can juggle between these. So I could be using one thing as the end of the song to have a loop of, and then start mixing in the other side. So let's say I've got it, and I like that tune. And then it's assigned. So if I had something on the other side, I'd be able to do all that and all the shenanigans as you do.
Life will be up on this path.
So let's say I've done all of that, and then all I need to do is save it as a track. And I'm going to go to my track folder because I've got a folder, Akai Force DJ tracks. Where is it? Oh, of course, it's A in it. Akai Force DJ tracks. So go into that folder and then I just name a song. I've got two here that you can probably see. I've done Lionel Richie's All Night Long and Side Effects Always There. So All Night Long, I've got all the parts. The beginning part as a separate thing. I've got like loads of hook parts. So they're all in time now. So I could add a beat. I could thicken up that track. I could do anything. I could bring it into another track and remix it. So let me type this, Swipe Right Secrets by BTI, which stands for Breaking the Illusion. So if you ever want to check any of my tunes out, just Google the words Breaking the Illusion and I'll come up. I think I still exist. So the greatest thing about this is
it only saves the one. So no matter how many times I populate it on that track in different ways, rewind it, reverse it, change pitch, it's only using data from that one thing. Keep in mind as well, anything that goes in, when it's in Akai Force, it converts it to WAV, and it converts it to 32-point floating, I think, within Akai Force. When you export, then you can choose, I think it's 24, and you can choose anything FLAC. There's a load that you can export to, but it imports whatever it imports. So if you import an MP3, it does it as that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you by using another track. So I'll do it on another song, so you can see what I mean, just in case. So here we go again. So the first thing, like I say, you click the sample, get the BPM accurate. Again, this song is another 96. So I'm zooming right in, take don't snap, and then I can just slide it just to get it nice and tight right at the beginning, so I know the click's going to be tight. And then if I press shift, then I can just do it by little numbers, so 96. And then, like I said before, I've got my first one in there, and then all I'm doing is I'm going to copy it again. So I'll copy that track. You got blood on your hands. I'm going to copy that to there, and then I'm going to get this track, and in the clip I'm going to just make it 4 bars. You can make it 2 bars. Also, what I haven't mentioned is it doesn't have to, similar to Ableton, each clip can have its own time and it starts. So for example, I don't have to go 5, 6, 7, 8 and then press the button just before to change over. What I can do is I can say that it's going to change in 4 bars time or 2 bars time. So if I want to do a loop or anything like that, I don't have to be dead on. I can just press it and then carry on with the rest of my life until the tune comes in. So now I'm going to go through and try and find something else to see. It's alright. Say the word, don't tell it how it is. Probably, maybe this. I think this might be it. Yeah, so let's say I have that part, and then I'll copy that, and it copies from that point. Try and find something else, see what else I've got. Yesterday I can't let go. Blood on your hand. And if you could switch the screen like I have on knobs, it just means it's easier than if you don't want to use a touch screen. A lot of times I like using the knobs as opposed to the touch screen, but whatever. So maybe I might have it like that. So like I said, I'm doing a count here. You don't have to do a count. You can just go to launch, quantize, and change that to 2 bars, and then it doesn't matter when you press it, it's only going to change in 2 bars time. So again, like I said, I'm just showing you how that is. So I've got a DJ setup template what I've made, and this was initially when I started using it for DJing, but I've realized now I don't really need to do a prep, because what I was going to have is I have a prep track on either side, so I would really be doing this on the fly. But I've realized, because there's certain things, again, they may be fixed, there's certain things what meant that I couldn't really do it on the fly. It's better to prep it. And what I have is I've got the channels here going to the sub, and the sub have got they've got EQ on them and a delay. So what's quite cool is if you load into a channel which is already assigned, it appears that even though the output's not right, it appears the assignment still remains. And this is something that I'm learning. Like I say, there's a few things where it's a bit of muscle memory. it comes to you. So let me get this to, a 98. That'll be alright. I sometimes speed stuff up when I'm DJing anyway. So then all I need to do is I go look for my folder of my tunes. So I've got my tunes here. So I'll load this first one up. So yeah, there. Then I've got that, and go back to here. Then remember to turn the output. If I would have saved that as the track reset, it would have automatically gone to sub. So that's something to think about. The only thing about that is then you have to kind of keep in your mind, all right, well, I'll better do that to side A and side B. So I don't think you need to worry about it. The only reason why I'm not playing I could be playing the music and explaining this to you, but there's no point because it's better if I just explain it how it is now. But always keep in mind, one of the best things about the Akai Force is you never have to stop. Every single thing I've done here would have worked regardless if it was playing or not. So I could have been doing this while I was DJing. A quick thing what I wanted to show you is, obviously you're hearing everything. You're going to hear everything because I've not done this on headphones. But if I was to do it on headphones, I'd put it to Q tracks. And what that does is it changes a solo into a Q, and the Q comes out of 3 and 4. You have to keep in mind, if you want the metronome, if you're queuing tracks or anything like that, you have to do that to 3 and 4. And you also want to do the preview to come out of the headphones as well. The headphones are 3 and 4 as well. So that's the thing to keep in mind, because if you don't, everything comes out of 1 and 2, which are the main outs. So you have to kind of keep in mind, right, shift and solo is a short button. Shift and solo is a short button to the Q tracks, and that cues, so everything comes out of the headphones. Then you want to go to the metronome if you're using the metronome, and then that'll go out the headphones. And then remember to go to preferences and make that go out the same way. Obviously this is coming straight out now, so I've got me tune there. So let me go. So I check, oh right, it's already there. That's what I was saying. This is something I've noticed. If you load the track in, it just keeps the setting.
I never thought that in my love life I'd be on this path.
I've got that tune.
The circumstance, it started.
And then, like I said, I've put it, so I've set my own channels. So now I can load up another track. Obviously, I can only load the tracks where I've done now because, like I say, YouTube. So that's there, and that's all going through the kills. So the only thing I need to kind of keep in mind is to assign it. So like if I didn't sign it, then this is what will happen. So it's playing, but I don't want that because I wanted to fade it in. So always remember to do that and then sign it in. So now I'm cool, and all of this is in time now, and no matter what I do, it'll always be in time.
I'll break for the hallways, discover the secret, so we'll be all don't know. Whatever the mystery, I know I can solve it. Get rid of the misery, victory is always the near you reach.
So I could do nice little blends.
Discover the secret, so we'll be all don't know. Whatever the mystery, I know I can solve it. Get rid of the misery, victory is always the near you reach it. I'll break for the hallways, discover the secret, so we'll be all don't know. Whatever the mystery, I know I
now, here's where what would be cool is if I could hit this into a tight loop. But you see, this is what I'm saying. That's why I was saying hopefully they'll fix that, because it's meant to be an absolute. So it's meant to like link to a beat or bar, but it doesn't. It's a bit random, which is a bit of a shame. But it just means you just have to prep your tracks. Bob's your uncle. Also, you want to keep in mind as well, while you've got all of this, and it's like, oh yeah, that's cool, I can mess around.
Yesterday I can't let go. Blood on your hands.
Let me see if I can look that around.
Memories resounding echo.
The only thing is, I have to admit, you have to have a little bit of muscle memory for a bit of these because, like, I'll say, yeah, I've got that, and I'll be in my headphones and go, yeah, I've got that right in the right place, and then I might say, oh, right, let me EQ out the bass out of this, but then I'm like, oh, I'm in the wrong chat, I'm in the wrong settings, so I'm gonna have to get the knob. I'm gonna have to go back to the knobs and remember to switch it back, because then I'm like, right, I'm in the right place, and then I'm like, oh no, yeah, I have to be in project. I suppose there's no way around it. I would say the best idea is just to prepare tracks. If you prepare them, you've got no problems. And they, like I say, if you set up an audio clip channel, it's the same amount of memory as just a normal one, except that it's fixed perfectly for the Akai Force. And don't forget, you also have the XY effects. So there's a lot of things you can mess about with, and like tape stop and everything. You can go through them, and you can do these in real time. So it's amazing. I would say that, admittedly, DJing's second on this, but it's still brilliant. Hopefully, this has been really helpful.